The Settings tab in Preferences allows you set some common defaults. Let's start with the options in the left column. If you've selected Preferred Style Templates, you may wish to set this field to Preferred. This will ensure that users see the style templates most common to your construction methods when starting out. However, you're able to set this field to the value you prefer. You're able to set a default closure condition in material groups which the person designing the crates can modify, but if you want to ensure the designer of your crate sets this field based on the loading of the content, check it. When you click the green Go arrow when creating a design, you can decide which screen you want to see first. Set the default orientation when using non-squared materials, such as 2x4s. What would be your most commonly preferred orientation? You can force Crate Pro to apply skids on light-duty crates and stringers on pallets in odd quantities to assure there is always one skid or stringer in the center. This setting applies to all pallets and does not apply to crates with only 2 skids. Please check out our solution articles, schedule a session or send an email to support@cratepro.com for information about Caseline. Crate Pro 6 can assist with your ISPM 15 reports. However, I suggest unchecking this box until you go through a session or review the supporting documentation regarding how this functions. The fields below are used when you use ISPM reports and when you run project module reports. Now we'll review some of the fields in the right side column. Dim Basis allows you to set whether you enter your dimensions by inside dimensions or content dimensions. The checkbox, when checked, allows the designer to decide, but you set your preferred option here. The next 5 fields will not change the construction of your designs. The information will appear on your cut lists to provide more information to staff. The question marks provide more information as to why these fields were added at the request of other customers. Consider how narrow you would accept a piece of plywood to be when a panel requires cuts. Crate Pro 6 will ensure if multiple pieces are required, none will be smaller than your set value. Based on your support rules for this style family, support cleats will be placed. But when a crate is larger, additional cleats are placed in the opposite direction. Set your policy to add cleats based on your first rest rules, or decide if you prefer to add cleats in a second direction based on if there is a splice in the panel. The option to allow Crate Pro 6 to rotate your plywood direction is significant to your design results. Crate Pro 6 looks at the dimensions of the plywood panel as you entered it in inventory. Typically 48 inches by 96 inches if using imperial measurements. If this box is unchecked, Crate Pro 6 will not rotate the panel dimensions to reduce the number of saw stops. This is common for military spec crates. Most companies that do more non-mil spec crates will check this box to allow Crate Pro 6 to rotate the panel to calculate it as 96 by 48 when it reduces the saw stops. End panels on some styles may extend past the bottom of the base and terminate somewhere alongside the lower assembly. The panel drop span value is the distance from the ground, if any, that the lower edge of that panel will terminate. Styles with drop panels that rest on top of another component such as rub strips are not affected by the panel drop span. When designing a new crate, Crate Pro will calculate this as the space between the contents and the ends, sides, and top. If designing by inside dimensions, the content dimensions will be set by subtracting this value from the 5 panels. If designing by content dimensions, the crate size will be increased by this value. You can change this value before creating the design. Many components allow you to indicate they should be undercut from the stated dimension. When a dimension is shown, click on the left side of the dimension field to change the undercut indicator. Enter 0 here in Preferences to cause the undercut indicator to appear on cut sheets, or enter a different value here to cause them to be undercut by that amount. 1/8 and 1/4 may be common. Foam includes the letter V to indicate the foam should be cut to size or larger to assure a tight fit. Undercut values do not change times, prices, weights, or relative dimensions of other components. If checked, the related undercut value will be considered in calculating saw stops and will likely result in an increase in the total cutting time. The checkbox does not affect time if no related undercut value is entered. You may want to check this box if using computerized saws, but leave it unchecked if the sawyer can nudge the material to make a shorter cut. This completes reviewing your company baseline settings. As you design your crates, you may find that you will change some of these settings. Remember that we offer ticket and online support.